Hey Collective, welcome back. I hope you're having a good day today. It's Wednesday, so you know what time it is. This one's going to be about how to wake up from your unhappy life. When you look in the mirror, what do you see? Do you see a smile that is stitched together with the threads of sorrow? Is the laughter you share just echoes bouncing off empty walls? Does your soul ache for more? I want you to know this. You don't have to squeeze into a life that feels like a stranger's coat. Too tight in the wrong places, faded by harsh weather you never asked for. You are not built to merely survive the day and collapse at night. And you are not made to fake joy while your spirit starves. I know it's hard. I know it hurts. I know what it's like to be in a room full of people who think you're fine, but all you want to do is cry. I know what it's like to walk with your shoulders back, but your heart is breaking with every step. But here's a powerful truth. Just because you've been living in unhappiness does not mean that unhappiness is where you belong. No one is born to stay in the shadows. No one came to this planet just to be weary. You have breath in your lungs. You have rhythm in your bones. Well, most of us do anyway. But the point is, you're not too far gone to rise, and it's never too late to start over. There is a quiet wisdom in pain. Most people miss because they're too busy trying to run from it. But pain is not your enemy. It's a messenger, a signal, a sacred whisper from deep within, telling you something is not quite right. When life gets heavy, when your days feel blurred together with tiredness and sorrow, that ache in your chest is not just sadness. It's a summons, a wake-up call, a sign that your soul is trying to speak to you through the language of discomfort. We've gotten way too used to silencing that voice. We smile when we want to cry. We say we're fine when we're falling apart. And in doing so, we convince ourselves that our pain is permanent. That this gray cloud is our forever sky. But I'm here to tell you, that's just not true. So listen up. Pain was never meant to keep you trapped. It was meant to lead you to freedom. The unhappiness you feel right now is not a life sentence. It's a turning point. It's a mirror showing you what is broken so you can begin the work of mending. It's your inner self begging for honesty, for clarity, for release. The more you try to numb it, ignore it, or bury it under distractions, the louder it becomes. And when you finally sit with it, when you stop running and truly feel it, something powerful begins to shift. You start to see you're not weak for feeling pain. You're human. You're alive. And you're allowed to have emotions. Know this. In your pain, there is potential. Potential to break cycles. Potential to break generational curses. Potential to unlearn patterns. To take the damn mask off and finally live as your truest self. But it starts as listening. Not to the world, not to those closest to you, not to the noise, but to that still soft voice within that says, I want more. I deserve more. There will be days when facing your unhappiness feels like walking on a bed of nails. When the weight of your past tries to pull you back. When fear whispers that change is too hard, too late, too risky. But remember this, those nails you're walking on are not meant to make you bleed. They're meant to wake you up and make you feel what is no longer working. Your old doubts, your old limits, your old lies. And when you make it across, you'll still be able to stand, stronger, clearer, braver. You don't have to fix everything today. You don't need a master plan. You just need to honor your pain as the beginning, not the end. Let it teach you. Let it guide you. Let it open doors you've been too afraid to knock on. And as you step through those doors, you'll realize something beautiful. That waking up from an unhappy life doesn't mean escaping it. It means reclaiming it. All it takes is one moment of courage, one breath of truth, one step in the direction of light. You're not stuck. You're stirring. You're not broken. You're becoming. And that feeling in your chest, the one you thought would crush you, is actually the very thing setting you free. Keep moving. Keep listening. Keep feeling. What I have learned is, there comes a point where the space you're in no longer fits the person you're becoming. You look around at the life you've built, the habits you repeat, the people you surround yourself with, and you feel the quiet discomfort of misalignment. What once felt like home now feels like a cage, and this is where the real awakening begins. Not when you change everything instantly, but when you dare to admit that something needs to shift. Staying in the same environment that caused your unhappiness will only deepen it. You cannot heal in the same place that made you sick. You cannot heal in the same place that constantly reminds you of your wounds. And you can't grow in soil that no longer nourishes you. Whether it's the negativity of others, the old routines, or the atmosphere that keeps you feeling small, you must recognize when your surroundings are part of the reason you feel stuck. This doesn't always mean a drastic move or cutting everything off, although there is a way to plan for this if you need to. But sometimes it starts with changing your daily rhythm, setting new boundaries, creating small moments of stillness and peace, or simply choosing to step away from energies that drain you. The real change begins inside, but it must reflect outside too. Because when the outside environment keeps repeating the same old noise, it becomes nearly impossible for your inner peace to find its voice. So many people stay in places that are silently destroying them, because familiarity feels safer than the unknown. They stay in friendships that mock their growth. They stay in routines that exhaust them. They stay in spaces where their worth is forgotten and their dreams are dismissed. But there comes a moment when your soul will say, no more. No more shrinking, no more pretending, no more staying quiet. You deserve to be in spaces that water your roots, not just pluck your petals. Places that allow your laughter to rise without apology. Places that speak truth, welcome your light, and remind you you're not too much, too emotional, or too ambitious. If your current environment makes you feel small for being who you truly are, it's time to leave. It's not the right environment for your healing. Figure it out. Make yourself a plan. Save the money any way you can, and keep it private. You hear me? Private. Not a word. First rule of Get the Hell Out of Dodge is we don't talk about get the hell out of Dodge with anyone. Understand? Yes, it hurts to leave people behind. It hurts to leave the familiar, even when it's hurting you. But peace? It has a price. The cost is often the comfort you've clung to for way too long. Don't be afraid to choose differently. Don't be afraid to step out and rebuild. Remember, the hardest part of change is not making the same choice as you did before. What you're seeking won't be found in the places that broke you. It will be found on the other side of change. Growth demands a shift. Just like a plant leans towards sunlight, you must lean towards happiness, towards truth, towards better. This shift can feel uncertain, even lonely at times. But know this, it's in the leaving that you start finding. It's in the letting go that you begin receiving. You have to believe that a better space exists, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually too. When you step into a space that honors your worth and your healing, everything will change. Your energy lifts, your thoughts grow clearer, your vision returns. And slowly, the sadness, the guilt, and the regret will begin to loosen their grip. We spend so much of our lives replaying what we wish had gone differently. We sit in rooms filled with today, but our minds are wandering through yesterday. Revisiting regrets, reliving conversations, rehearsing our pain. It becomes a pattern so familiar, we forget we're even doing it. We become loyal to the memory of who we were and what we lost, instead of being faithful to the person we are becoming and the life we've still got to live. But I have learned no amount of replaying the past will ever change it. It only steals the energy you need to create something new. The truth is, your story does not have to be a repetition of everything you've already been through. You don't have to carry old sorrow like it's a badge of honor. You don't have to live every day through the filter that hurt you. Yes, you made mistakes. Yes, people disappointed you. Yes, life turned left when you knew for sure it would go right. But you'll never get anywhere if you sit in what was. Instead, focus on what can be. The future is not built on memory. It's built on movement. It's shaped by what you do now, not what was done to you then. And when you understand your next chapter is not bound by your last one, you'll start to see possibility where there was only pain. You'll start to hear your voice again instead of old stories. You start to realize healing isn't about forgetting. It's about no longer allowing your past to define your worth. So many people stay trapped in an unhappy life, not because they lack opportunity, because they lack vision. They can't see beyond the familiar pain. They've worn their suffering so long that true joy feels foreign, like something that belongs to someone else. But I'm here to tell you, peace is your inheritance. Joy is your birthright. And you are not meant to stay bound to the past. You're meant to rewrite it with the choices you make today. It begins with a single brave decision: to stop giving so much power to what cannot be changed. Take a deep breath and stop asking, "Why did this happen to me?" Because let's be real, you allowed it to. And start asking, "What can I build from here?" That, my friends, is where transformation lives. Not in answers, but in action. Not in the past, but in the present. The pen is in your hand now, and you are not obligated to keep telling the same sad story. You can write a new one, filled with courage, with truth, and with light. You may not know what your next chapter looks like. That's 100% normal. Most beginnings come with uncertainty, and since certainty is one of the 6 basic human needs, uncertainty, the not knowing, is where most people get stuck. This is where a mind-body practitioner comes in to help. So let me geek out a little bit with a little neuroscience real quick. Truth? Change is 100% going to be uncomfortable. It's going to feel unfamiliar, and there is going to be a certain amount of uncertainty and unpredictability. But the moment you feel uncomfortable, You just stepped into the river of change. Most people, the moment they feel uncomfortable, they turn back to the familiar state of mind and body. They start thinking, acting, feeling the same way and say, yes, this feels right. But no, in fact, it feels familiar. Going from the old self to the new self is the neurological, the chemical, the biological, the hormonal, and even the genetic death of the old self. That void, that place of uncertainty, the unknown, is the perfect place to create in. We begin to decide who we want to be. Many say, I can't predict my future. It doesn't feel right. Well, friends, the best way to predict your future is to create it. Not in the known, but in the unknown. You have to prime the brain circuitry to no longer be living in the past and instead be living in the future. You have to cultivate the emotional state ahead of the actual experience. I know it's a lot, but it works. Just keep your heart open and your intentions clear. You'll find the steps unfolding beneath your feet. You'll find the strength you forgot you had. You'll begin to create beauty again, not because life has been easy, but because you chose to bring beauty out of what was once broken. Remember, every single day is a blank page, and you don't need permission to turn it. You don't need perfect circumstances to begin again. You just need to stop rehearsing the pain and start speaking life into your future. This has been your Wednesday Word. Until next time, friends, keep healing. See ya.